we've had a couple good days, Tuesday and today, two good solid practices. Tomorrow will be mostly game prep type stuff, NC State wise. Last couple days has been a good bit of Clemson on Clemson, as well as some game prep stuff. But so far so good. Off to a good start. Tough news with Sharon Peak. He tore his ACL. I don't know if y'all have heard that yet or not, but yesterday in Skelly, this kind of a freaky deal, but that's usually how those injuries happen, unfortunately. But just a real shame for him, because he was having a great year and was going to have a great year. We'll apply to see if we can get a medical red shirt for him. He hasn't been red shirted yet, so hopefully we can get this year back and he can be a junior again next year. And he's got a great future in front of him. And obviously he's got plenty of people on this team who've been through the same thing that are doing just fine. So, but it's always tough for a young person when they have to come to grips with something like that and they can't play, because that's what they love to do. But prayers are with Sharon, and we'll get him well and get him back as soon as we possibly can. With that, other guys have to step up. That's just football. It's the way it is. It won't be our last bit of adversity to deal with. That's for sure. Always in the course of a long season, you've got some adversity that teams have to overcome. And So, Adam, we're fortunate to have a guy like Adam that can slide right in that spot and get the job done. And then G-Hop is getting some good experience. Mike Williams, TJ Green, those guys. The depth is going to be key for us. Matt Porter is another one. So we'll get them all in the right spot and get back to work.
How's Rod been the last couple?
Rod, he's good. He's good. He's practiced both days. He's doing good. He should be fine, ready to go by next week.
No green?
No, we kept him in green just because we just didn't want him to have just get hit. But he's practiced full speed. We haven't collisioned him. But he's looked good. Feels good. Looks good.
Probably not before. If he's going to be cleared, probably not before the weekend.
Probably not. And tomorrow, like I said, it'll be an all scout day, and he's getting all that work. And then. They'll be off completely on Friday, and then Saturday is kind of a Monday type practice for us. So, and then Sunday will be kind of a Tuesday type of deal. So I would think by Sunday he'll be back rolling full speed. And he, like I said, he's done everything.
It's kind of disappointing for Sharon because he started off having such a good year already this year and was coming along good for you, right?
Yeah, he's having a great year and was going to have a great year. But like I said, that's. Oftentimes we don't know why things happen or whatever, but sometimes that's hard for young people to understand that in the moment because you're disappointed. But for the most part, if you have the right mentality, the adversity in your life usually turns out to be some of the best things that happen to you. As you mature and get older and you look back and you can see a bigger picture. There'll be something positive come out of it, and maybe it's that, hey, he gets another year. Who knows? But I know this: he's going to be fine, and he'll come back better than ever and pick up where he left off.
Knowing that Sharon got hurt now, power of hindsight, the amount of guys that you got playing time against SC State, is that even more beneficial now?
Well, I think. Well, yeah, absolutely. It's good for a guy like G-Hop to go out and have the type of game that he had, and then Mike and TJ to get some experience. Certainly, and we made that decision early that we were going to play those two freshmen, just because it's a long season, and we don't have great depth at wideout. I mean, everybody thinks we got all these wideouts around here, and we got some pretty good players, but we don't have a lot of depth. So we're sitting here we got 6 guys on scholarship now. That are our number's 10 at the position, so we're under. That's why a receiver is a big need in this class for us from a recruiting standpoint, and but we got what we got, and we'll make it work.
Would you think Adam would start out at the field against NC State?
Yeah, Adam will slide in, and Adam can play anywhere, but he'll slide into Sharon's spot, and as far as the first 3 that would run out there, and then. Adam can also play the 2-man. Sammy can play the 9-man. And then G-Hop plays the 2 and the 5, so we got some flexibility with him. TJ, and Mike, we're pretty much just kind of got the training wheels on them right now, not asking them to do a lot of cross training. Then Matt Porter can play anywhere too. So we'll be okay.
What's the latest on McKenzie and what he's been able to do?
We've just had him over there with the trainers, just rehabbing. He's doing fine, getting a lot of work in, and we're just have put him on ice and have just taken that extra pressure away of trying to rush him back. And when he's back is when he'll be ready.
Will he travel to NC State?
No,
or any other,
no.
Any of the other freshmen who haven't played?
No, not right now. I think pretty much. Well, we've played I think we've played 9 true freshmen. Is that right? I don't know. Y'all keep up with that? 9 or 10? I think it's 9 or 10. We've played 9 or 10. Gallman is the one that if we had any other type of issue, he's the one that. I mean, we'd love to play Gallman, to be honest with you, but it's just hard to get 5 work, the type of work to really warrant that, because if with C.J. Davidson and what we've seen out of him in fall camp, we're like, wow, well, maybe we can hold Gallman, put 15 pounds on him, and we'll be thankful that we did later. But we're continuing to get him ready. But right now, we probably won't have him on the trip. Probably won't have any of the bubble guys on the trip with us.
You mentioned Davidson, curiosity in that he's a guy who, as a speedback, plays tougher, and the circumstances that led you to get him are kind of intriguing also.
I mean, he just showed up. Just walked on here out and just said, "Hey, I didn't know who he was," and he just came to Clemson run track and showed up over here and wanted to try out for the team as a walk-on, and gave up his scholarship and really didn't even get out here until school started last year. We didn't have him. He wasn't in any plans, but I just started watching him last fall on scout team, and I'm going, man, this guy is. I mean, he didn't have a clue about anything system-wise, but you could just see his athleticism and I was impressed with his toughness and his work ethic, and to the point that I wrote his name down about 3 different times and bring it up in the staff meetings. Like, you know what? So I started working him at corner, because we all know we had lots of problems last year in the secondary. So I sent him pretty much about 3rd or 4th game. I started sending him every day to Cheese to the DB drills because I'm like, golly, this guy, if he can just learn what to do athletically, he's pretty gifted. He's as gifted as anybody we got. But it wasn't very natural to him. But he did it. He did it all fall. And my hopes was, well, okay, we'll see where he's going to land this spring. But we're going to get this kid in the spot. He's going to be able to help this team, special teams, something. And I met with him after the season, and I asked him, I said, what do you, here's where you are. And here's where we got on this team. You're behind this guy, this guy, this guy. You got a lot of, room to catch up from a mental standpoint. And do you want to try running back, or you want to give this DB thing a shot? And he said, he was passionate about running back and really wanted to try that first. And I said, well, it might be a little while before you play, but. And he said, well, Coach, I'm patient, and that's what I want to do. I said, all right, well, then let's go. And so he went to work this spring, and he got his, plays somewhat down this spring, enough to where he could go compete, and you could kind of see some of his talents. And then he worked his tail off this summer, and he came back in fall camp, and really, really was just very, very impressive. And he's a different guy. I mean, he's put together, and I think in high school, I don't think he was very focused on football. I mean, he played football, but I think he was maybe in his mind more track. And then I think that reversed when he got here to this level, because he can run. And I think he might have realized, I don't know if I'm world class in track. And I think he missed football. And for the first time, I think he really gotten committed to being a great football player. And just happy for it, but noticed him last year. You could obviously see it, but now now he's in a position where he's getting opportunity and he's taking full advantage of it.
He said maybe your best recruiter in that purpose was Newt, because he said Newt kept telling him, you can play here.
Yep. In fact, Newt came to me 2 or 3 times and was like, Coach, I'm telling you, this kid can do it. And I said, well, we're gonna get him out here and we're gonna see. Newt was right. He can play. He's got everything that you could ever want. I mean, he's tough. He's explosive. He's got long speed. He's got great lateral quickness. He plays physical. Catches the ball pretty good. And he's just blue collar, low maintenance. You know, I mean, he just loves it. So yeah, we're lucky to have a guy like that just drop out of the sky. I don't know what they got in the water up there at Daniel and that tank up there between 6 Mile and Clemson, but man, they got some good stuff flowing through there. I hope my boys get some of it.
Goodson, how's he doing with this?
He's still out. He's still going through we ran him pretty hard yesterday, but he still kind of had a little headache. So, you know, again, you can only go at their pace, and you can't ever get to the next step until you can check this box, then you go to the next level. And I think he had a little better day today, but as far as our report this morning, he didn't do as well yesterday. So he's still not there yet. Probably won't know more about him until, I don't know when I'm going to meet with y'all again, but probably Sunday before I know a good bit more about him once we get out in pads again after tomorrow.
And I guess Shatley's
good.
still, huh?
He's good. He's fine. He'll be ready to roll. We're nursing him a little bit. We're babying him a little bit. You know, he hadn't had much sugar around here. And, we're giving him a little sugar, babying him a little bit, taking good care of him. He's fine. He's tough as nails, and like I say, he could have played Saturday, but we have kind of kept him slow these yesterday and today and tomorrow. He's a very, very sharp, smart guy. Knows exactly what we're doing, but we'll get him back rolling in the practice this weekend.
It's painful.
It is. That's a very painful injury, you know. And I'll tell you what's more painful is the shot that you get if you've ever had that. That'll lift you up off the table. But you know, I think he's actually torn it now, which is good. You either just go ahead and tear it or have the surgery is usually the best way to move on from that deal. But he's good. He'll be all right.
All set. Thank you, sir.